Hey guys, JannLee here, doing something a little bit different. Normally I'm playing while commentating. I came online and found two very strong players having a good match. Xuanet, who most of you will be familiar with, 2613 up against tonight. A new name to Leeches, JK the Bullfrog, but better known as JKiller or Jeremy Keller, who's had a long career in Crazyhouse and Bughouse on freechess.org, or better known as Fix, F-I-C-S. JKiller has in fact played Crazyhouse and Bughouse for years longer than I have. He's one of the veterans of the game, and despite new players always coming in the front door, he's always been able to adapt to the new standard, and has a somewhat creative style of play, but you can also just positionally grind an advantage and really extract the most out of positions. So if you've seen Helm's Knight's channel, you will have seen she partnered with Jeremy. This is JK the Bullfrog just recently up against the likes of Kazem Goulamali and Dan Yeager, who are also specialists in Bughouse, and they had some great games. So you know, if one of them sits out, I might join in. But for now, I'm just gonna commentate on their games for a little bit, something a bit different. But the level is very high here, so I just thought I'd introduce who JK is before things get too much further. So here, Xuanet's actually drawn first blood today. He's just taken 1-0. I think JK is going to take this one. Yes, Legion Destroyer, Liam Ches 12, Slim MG, thanks for joining. Yes, I've tuned into this match because JK the Bullfrog is a veteran of the game. He's more of a veteran than I am. I've played the game for probably about 17 years, and JKiller would have been one of the best players when I started, and has always been able to remain a top tier player in Crazyhouse and Bughouse pretty much over the last 2 decades. So he's just kind of warming up here on Leeches. I don't think he's in full swing yet, and he's in top 10 already. So yeah, JK the Bullfrog, definitely a player to look out for. Okay, someone's asking me to join a Leeches tournament. Let's just see. Looks like is this a Crazyhouse half-minute event? What's this? I don't mind commentating on this one. Oh right, this arena just started off. It's just standard bullet. No, I'll commentate on this one. Okay, let's start here. So 1-1, and you can see Xuanet's a very strong player, one of the best attackers in the game, and JK is 4-3 against him. So small volumes so far, but yeah, this will be a good match. Okay, so Xuanet knows quite a bit of opening theory. JKiller is probably going to be a little bit behind it because he's out of step with the rest of us who've been keeping up. Not necessarily everyone's studying the opening to the same extent, but when you get tricked by a new novelty or something, then you don't play it again. So I assume JK is going to have to catch up with a bit. But okay, there's been an early trade on d4, bishop f6, played early. Here, yeah, this pawn is something that needs to be addressed. But then I feel that, yeah, if black kind of runs out of pieces, he's going to be too far behind on development. I believe xuanet's idea here is to recapture the knight with this fork on f7. If king f8, getting queen c5, and then you can take this one. So either way, there's a queen fork that was going to win. This knight back, preserve the rook, get out of the fork. But yeah, this is not a bad piece. A JKiller looking for some initiative. Now here, I don't think xuanet should take. I think maybe pawn at f5 is in order. He can take that hit. Pawn at f5 would just block out black's best attacker, and then ask some serious questions on, okay, you made a dent on g2, but yeah, how to continue. So yeah, xuanet pawn at f5. Yeah, you could take first or take here first. Either is fine. But yeah, white's got a nice line here. Pieces are in hand. So I favour white here. I just feel it's hard for black to develop. So if I were in JKiller's shoes, what would I do? Okay, it wouldn't be this move, but I'm not JKiller. So I figure JKiller's thinking he's maybe a little bit behind, so he's just trying to get at least some compensation by getting the king unsafe. But yeah, I'd probably find myself more likely in white's position here, where I'm just going to play to defend for the rest of the game, but I'll have the material advantage to fall back on. Pawn on d3. I mean, white's got to be careful, but theoretically I think white should be better. This is probably a good square for the queen. Pawn at e2 is not much to be concerned about. You can just play rook g1 and then plan to bring the king back to h1 here. The queen b3 a good square, looking at here, looking here. Not easy to hit. I expect xuanet to take this one down. Okay, so JKiller now trying to look for a queen trade. And I think that's accurate from xuanet picking off one of the pawns. Basically going to say, well, you're going to run out of pieces sooner or later. Queen d5 could be coming. I think that's got to be respected. Now, if it was to be played now, black's got to be careful of getting mated with knight at g5, knight at e5. Yeah, like xuanet's going to murder him here if there's mate. He will find it. Okay, Penguin GM1, Helms Knight, both auto hosting. Thanks for the auto hosts. I need to figure out how to do that myself, actually. Sorry I've not auto hosted back. It's not out of intent. It's just that I need to learn how to do it. Yeah, so Queen at f7 here should be strong. White has so many diags. If up here bishop at f4 really then forces the king to d4. And you don't have to think too much there, because pawn at c3, if the king tries to run back, there's always going to be queen c7. You just keep the king on the 4th rank or higher, and eventually the squares will run out. I think xuanet could be overthinking it here, because the other idea is queen at f7, and then you've got king d6, pawn at c5. Yeah. It's all too much. So he's just being precise, but There's too many pawns in hand. This is done. So nicely played from xuanet. Basically, just took all of black's pieces, left the king on f3. What's going on here? I thought I had a watch on these guys. So clean tonk 2 says I'm glad to see JKiller on lead chess. Yeah, me too. T Dunlap 1310 saying what up JL. Well, just commentating a little bit here. Alright, xuanet's okay. xuanet's challenging me, so I assume maybe JKiller is done. I'll just check with him. Okay, looks like I'm up, so replacing JK's name with my own here. I'll just see. Okay, well, in the interest of keeping the audience engaged with some content, I'll have a go. Alright. Okay, xuanet. Let's also change the stream title. Okay. Okay, so clearly I'm trying to hit F4. But, yeah. Which way do I have to capture this? I think I gotta capture this way. But then this knight can hang sometimes, so I've gotta think about this. My problem is if I take this way, then he'll get knight e5. So it's an instinctive move to just take this way. If he brings this in, then I'll defend like that. I've got to go gf here. I don't want to place the queen here. And it's open to getting hit. Knight at c2 is also viable. So the queen belongs on d1 just for now. Rook g1 might open up. Okay, so he's got this g2 square. No matter what, I'm going to have something left on f4 that's not a knight. Unless I move it, of course. Move it to g2, I could move it to h3. It's a weird looking move. Alright, I'm going to be greedy. I'm going to try to hold on to a pawn. Okay. Pardon me, just going to change the stream title. I could possibly take this as well. I mean, that would come as no surprise to viewers, right? I always get accused of sacrificing the queen too early or too easily. Yeah, I'll contemplate that while I change the stream title properly. Hang on. He does get Queen G5. There is Knight E5. You know what? On this occasion, I'm going to keep the Queen on. Okay. Let's cover D3 here. This is not CWC, it's just for fun. More like CWC training for me. Yeah, I don't actually participate until the grand final. So yeah, it's just a bit of training for me, really. Okay. I have to defend my knight. Okay, that's no surprise. I expect pawn at h3 is coming. Just knight e3, I think he's even thinking of sacking the queen there. Yeah, there could be some brutal tricks here. I'll make him work for it. Okay, I'm very low on time. Stream name should have changed. He's going to throw everything he's got at me. I need a chance to place these bishops on squares that are going to help my defense. So he might sack for a pawn and play pawn at g2. That's what I expect. I'm going to allow him to have the rook. So bishop at f5 here is to undermine h3. Every pawn and piece counts here. Okay. I'll just take this one. Oh, he's gonna maybe take this knight. That's the trick. I'll have to take that. No, I thought he was gonna take the knight. Okay. Got a lot of defense around the king. You've got two pieces covering g2. Yeah, you could have some... Yeah, there could have been something nastier there. The time is the issue now. Got to try to counterattack a little bit. Not going to allow that so easily. Okay, no. I just got to keep alive while on the clock and on the position. So the moves may suffer a little bit, but... Oh dear. Yeah, this isn't good. Knight e1 is good for him here. And I should have used the old knight potentially, then I may have had better chances. That's just a loose move from me. Okay. Yeah, that was fairly disappointing. Knight takes f3 I think wins. And then knight at h3 to follow. Okay, xuanet draws first blood. I should have been better out of that opening, but I didn't play it well in the time scramble. Okay, d4. So relinquishing a pawn here. Maybe d5. Could play knight c5. Nah, I'll just defend. Hello, RM15. Alright, the Music Dan saying just yesterday lost 3-7 in the Crazyhouse World Championship. Bad luck, Music Dan. Yes, it is a very tough field this year. Okay, pawn at e7 is the problem here. As is this. So how can I prevent both of those? That's a good move. Maybe I have to play pawn at g6. He'll take here. He'll have two pawns, but yeah, I have to hit this knight. I'm expecting knight takes h6. Okay. Well, taking this rook's gonna hurt me possibly. Knight at f5. Takes. Grabs a knight. f6 is weak. Alright, I'll put this on. Alright, he's gonna test my defense. Okay, he's coming straight in. Got knight at g5 check to follow. Okay, I'm gonna probably try to have to run my king this way. We've got to take this one first. He's got rook h7, rook f7. Yeah, I have to take that though. Yeah, this is my problem now. Okay, pawn at f7 first. Right. If I go to d7, he's got bishop e6. Have king here, rook f7. Okay. Oh boy, this is going to be hard to defend. Got to take this. Okay. This is going to be very hard to survive. If check, I can take here. is the one that's the problem. The FG looks strong. Now, yeah, bishop at G8, knight G5. Maybe I take this. This all looks pretty horrible. Alright, well, we'll get rid of it. Yeah, I don't have a good response to this. That's too strong. Knight at F5 was left there. Maybe I can't afford to give away a knight with a move like pawn at D7. So xuanet taking first two matches here. I'm gonna have to lift my game. 95. Okay, so getting a look in here. Try to disrupt this king side a little. Bishop b5 check looks natural. Feeling like he'll probably play king f8. I think he'll want to preserve the pawn and knight in hand. Probably won't want to block on c6 because knight takes c6 could be an option. Pawn at d7 doesn't look like fun. Could be bishop d7, that's an idea. King f8 is also quite reasonable. Oh, he's going to go with c6. Okay. I'll take this without too much thought. He's got bishop g4 check, which is not bad for him. I would have thought bishop g4 first before capturing here. It just gives him the option of playing pawn at d7 with his bishop already active and his rook available for defense on the back rank. Here if he plays pawn at d7 I can play bishop takes. Queen at g4 isn't the same, I can play bishop f3. Can't play king f8 because that's mated in one. King d8 is possible, but looks daring. King d8, pawn at c7, takes, pawn at d6, takes, no, not that way, okay. Now if I take here, he gets queen at g4, so I'm going to grab this one. So that way I'm getting 3 pawns for a piece. And still looking at the rook here. Okay, queen at d4, coming here. I need to use the queen. Yeah, it'd be better to use the queen. And then against this move I can play bishop e3. Okay. Now the question is if I want to keep the safe king or I want to be a little bit aggressive. Having a threat on the rook can play here. I'll go for the safe king option. Okay. Now he gets g2. Or does he? Queen at f3 takes, queen at g2. Yeah, I think I like that one better. Okay, now I think rook e1 makes sense. Queen takes, and queen at e2. So still maintaining safety, but he's picked up a couple pawns here. Okay, so now I've got to figure out what I want to do with this move. Pawn at f6 maybe. Yeah. I want to be direct. He does have queen takes h2. If he just removes this queen off the square, then he's threatening knight at f2 mate. But I'm looking at coming in here, and my point here is, yeah, if takes knight takes f6 for example, bishop b5 check would reveal here. So maybe, yeah, I'll take this one with a knight just to force the issue, I think. He has to take with a bishop. Now this file also opens up. Bishop b5, bishop d3. I think we'll go to d3. Ah, but queen f3 check. That made me. Yeah, this is a problem. Oh, I have to attack his queen. Oh dear, that's not much better. Knight at f2 now. I'm missing this stuff. Knight e4, I'll back off to d1. So he's got a draw at the least, but this... Yeah, we'll see where this goes. No, I think I had better here. This is mated. Queen at c5 is mate in one. Bishop at d4 wasn't the right move. Maybe bishop at e3. No. Bishop d3, queen f3. This knight at e4 move is a good move. I won't dwell too much on it, but I thought I had better than what the outcome of the match was. So I'm down 3-0 now. I'll change the move order up just slightly here. Yeah, knight d5. So xuanet knows some openings here. He could try to throw something theoretical at me. We'll see what happens. Ron2 asking, hey Jan, do you watch football? Is football American football or is it soccer in Europe? Football has many meanings. In Australia, there are actually like 4 different codes of football. So, yeah. Might need a bit more of a specific definition of football. Okay, let's take this guy. Soccer. I'm not a huge follower of soccer. I mean, like I know who Cristiano Ronaldo is and Lionel Messi, but no, I'm not like a big follower of a league or anything like that. Probably played just 1 season of full field soccer in my life. That's probably about 20 weeks or something. Played the position of goalkeeper. That was a lot of fun actually. I missed that quite a lot. Something nice about being in a team, and you can't let down your teammates. So you've got to turn up for training a couple times a week. You've got to turn up for the match. So you do get pretty fit out of it. And by the end of it, I knew a little bit more about goalkeeping than I did when I began. That's for sure. So I appreciate the game more after playing a position myself. It's a beautiful game, soccer. But yeah, I don't have the time to follow it so much. All right, I'm thinking here or pawn at e2, and I'm probably overthinking it. I should probably just keep things away from my king. Importantly, I have a knight covering here and a bishop covering here. These are the sorts of things you want to look out for in defense, because pawn at g7 is open, and then naturally a knight is coming to hit you. So I feel like I've got enough here. I'm at this moment a piece up, so it's really on white here to try to prove that he has some initiative. Now he can't recapture here because of knight at e2 check. He can take the knight, but it should be interesting to see how he decides to play from here. Pawn at e6, so he's looking for something on g6. So I want to be accurate here. Alright, bishop at h5. If he takes, knight at g6 check, takes the rook. I don't have enough to mate, so I'd have to take his knight. And rook at g... He'd have rook at g3. I'll put this here anyway. If I really can't take his queen, I will have something like pawn at g4 or pawn at f3. This at least covers g6 in principle. Okay, what does this do? Oh, right, he's got knight at f5 check now. Okay, that I missed. But, yeah, that's not so bad. So that was really more to block off the bishop, but because I have the h7 square, I'm not too concerned about mates as much as I would if this pawn was back on h7. That normally forces your king to g8 or h8. Here, if he wants to play e7, with the threat of taking a queen and playing queen at g7, I can actually take this one first. And then I can either take this queen or this queen. I'm not under a mate threat, so I want to have a mate threat on his king. This threatens knight at h3. but he can't really get a strong check on me. So I can pick this one up later and claim a material advantage, or try to attack further. So I could play knight at h3, forcing this pawn at g2. How's he going to cover that? Two knights don't really hurt me yet. Or I could take here. Just instinctively this looks right. You could play queen at g7 takes, queen takes f6, bishop takes f6, knight at h5, but then I've got king h8 and his checks run out. So here if king takes, knight at h4, queen at g2, king g3, or against king g3, and it doesn't matter where the king runs, queen g5 mates, so he's got to play knight at g3, but then yeah, I can probably take this rook or play knight at h4. Looks promising. Okay, grab a bit more material. Alright, I want to cut off the e2 square while I give a check. Alright, so I bag a win. That's good. Okay, e4, d5. Alright, we're going to play some new theory here. I got this one from Master Tan. I saw him play it first, but I've been employing this quite regularly. So, black gambits a pawn here with the double capture of pawns here, and then white gambits one back. Now against this, I think I want to take it. So playing capture with the queen here, not the pawn, because after knight at g2 I want this space for my king. I feel like I've played this one before. And the idea of gambiting a pawn back is that the d4 pawn that black has here is actually quite hard to have, you know, it's quite hard to stop white from recapturing it. But then white just gets natural development. So often black's compensation point with this gambit with the pawns here is white is up a pawn, but has to play a little bit defensively. Okay. Now, queen at f1 or queen at g1? I think queen at g1, but then knight at f3 takes. Bishop in hand. Have the knight for c7. I'll put it on g1. Only because if he takes here, then I can take him here. If knight at f3 will take. e2 is on, then he might just play knight c3. Okay. He's got a pawn here. Anything direct? Knight at f3 is still something. Here I think pawn at e7 is interesting. If black gets the castle, he gets a certain safety. There's a pawn at b7 idea too, but here he can play queen at b4. That's okay. Knight c3. He gets the pawn. I can get this one. But I'm just trying to stop him from castling, and I'm threatening to take the queen and do something. So he's defending against queen at d8. But what about bishop at d6? Should I take it first? Is that more accurate? Because he'll get knight at f3 and he can escape. No, that doesn't work because I'll have knight at c7. Yeah, bishop at d6 is a nice move. So, yeah, it's not doing anything on f8, but it's now threatening to capture. Go queen at d8, and then takes pawn at c7. If king e8, queen at e7 mate. If king c8, queen at b8. Knight takes, queen, c takes b8, queen, king d7, queen c7 check, king a8, queen e7 mate. So there's still mate threats, but the bishop also prevents queen at b4 check happening. So pawn at b7 could become viable later as well. It also means that knight at f3 check can't be played because it doesn't matter which way you capture, I'm getting knight at c7 mate here. So it's not check, but it's a serious question to black on what to do with his queen. Even if you play knight at f5, I've got takes. You'd have to take the bishop here. I take the bishop here. I'm like taking all of black's pieces. So I'm not playing with checks here, but I've set it up with pawn at e7 to at least stop the king from castling. That's the key. So we'll see what xuanet wants to do here, but this is not easy to defend. Okay, so he's covering c7. That's how he's dealing with that. So his pawn at b7. Now what I want, because now there's no queen at b4 check. He'd have to play rook b8. Yeah, that extra pawn there makes the difference. Unless I can take, and I don't think it works. Pawn e7, king c8. Bishop a6. Let's think about this. Yeah, I think it's still mates. The bishop a6, but the move order is very precise here. Ooh, maybe I've let it slip. I thought I could play rook at d8 and force a capture, but here he can play king b8. That's my problem. Have I blown it? I think I've blown it. I should have played pawn at b7 instead. Now I've got concerns about my own king. But he's got no checks. He does have queen at a5 though. I got mate in one. Knight f3. I have to cover e2. Okay, I got him now. Yeah, I should have just played pawn at b7. Maybe he had a win there. I think instead of rook takes d8, if he plays queen at a5 check and takes a6, it might be a bit harder for me to get in. With the queen on d8 already, I had queen c8 mate. But if he had done queen at a5 first, then I don't have it as easily. Alright, maybe I should try something different here. Let's go a bit aggressive. See what he comes up with. Okay, bishop at b3. At d6. Alright, c3 played. So I want to neutralize one of these. I get my own activity here. This is also a nice bishop. Covers some really important squares. I get some of this pressure alleviated here before castling. But that's no surprise that he goes for the most aggressive move. I could take this. I'll take this. So knight just hitting these points. And sometimes white has these options of playing knight takes e5, sacks, you know. But here I feel like black has a lot of good defense preventing that. I want to take with the bishop or the knight or the king. Yeah, I'll take with the knight actually. I'll leave myself with one aggressive piece. Okay. Just renew the threat here. Hold on to the material. If he wants to throw in the kitchen sink, he could, but I've got knights covering g6 and f7. So the thing is, while he's spending nearly every move attacking, I've been spending nearly every move defending as well. So while it feels uncomfortable to play black here, in principle, I mean, I should have enough defense. Okay, he is going to try to throw everything in here. Now I'm not going to take this because then he has pawn at f7, and if you go king f8, knight g6 mates. I'm just going to capture the material, hold this threat. This is still a very good defender, but yeah, like I said, if he takes here, there's no bishop at g6 to win the knight because I take it back. So he really has to throw in the kitchen sink here. What looks like a few checks. Okay, so now I either take this or I play gutsy and then make sure I don't allow knight at g6. I'm going to go for the latter. Okay, but you're right, I'll just take things now. So I'm even happy just grabbing this one and cleaning up. Okay. So yeah, I'm up a piece and a pawn here. Okay, pawn at b7 is hanging on the side. I'll hold on to everything. He can play a check here if he wants. Alright, he's gonna have a look at e7. Right. I'll just stay solid. I don't want to take this one. It gives him material and then it allows him to open lines. So I just need to try to control the defense. h6 now the target. Yeah, you gotta be careful here. Bishop takes, knight takes. I'm just gonna defend. Now while black's up a piece and a pawn, you have to get your pieces on the board to make them count. And if I don't get them on in the right order, I could be allowing some counterattack. So here, like knight g7 takes, bishop h6, rook takes, pawn at g5, he might be trying. And then I may have to give some material back, but I got to do it in a way that isn't going to allow too much. Okay, we'll take this. He gets his pawn. But now, maybe pawn at e6. Okay. e6 is there. So it all looks very passive for me, but I'm going to keep it under control. Okay. Let's try not to blow it here. Okay, time now the issue. Gotta move a bit faster. Okay, I will take it now. Okay, I'll just push up slowly and gradually. This one. Queen at h1 coming. Yeah. No, it was maybe slower than I needed to make it, but very solid at the back, and then pushing up. Mugwort Crazyhouse joining. So a little plug from my friend Mugwort. He's also started his own channel on Twitch, so go and check it out. Mugwort Crazyhouse is the name of the channel. Throw in a bishop b3 here. So I believe he's only started that up in the last month or so. And Mugwort really playing some good Crazyhouse at the moment. old friend of mine, probably for, well, we've probably known each other for a few decades already, since our first meeting. Now, d5. Not respecting my grip on the d5 square at all, he's just gone straight for it. How to play against this? So black's idea is like if ED, maybe a bishop c5, knight f3. I think it's better to put less pieces in hand. So on that principle, I'm not going to trade off either of these. I'm just going to take the pawn, claim I'm a pawn up. Now if bishop c5, I might play knight f3. So the idea is, you know, you take a knight and then you get an extra knight there to fork with. And then if like bishop c5, pawn at e2, then you play pawn at h3 and then you're undermining f3. For that reason, I think I have to move the knight from f3. And that means I get to oppose this knight. I have to make black take with this knight. It's just a better way of controlling f3. Okay, he's offering 2 pieces for the queen. You can seldom refuse that. This occasion is no exception, rather. I can't take back with a knight because a queen at e4 check, so it's the king I've got to take with. So I'm out of book here, just to be clear. I was probably out of book since I played e takes d5. This is all instinctive. So I like queen at h5 check here. Alright, he hasn't played it. He hasn't taken this one either. I'm gonna... Well, should I retreat the knight or leave it there? I think I might leave it there. We'll put a new knight on. That covers both of these. So I expect either bishop d6 or bishop d4. No. Okay. I'm going to take this. Queen at h5 I think is coming. That's okay. Now pawn at f3 maybe? Yeah, I want to say that I'm attacking this after he takes here. I'm just grinding here. I'm trying to make every bit of material count. I'm going to take with this knight because it's the only piece that's not defended out here. And if takes here, I'll probably take with the pawn. But it might be worthwhile capturing with the knight. Ah, okay. He clearly wants some material to attack with. Go with the bishop first. He's just going to play c6. He could sack queens, but I don't think he'll have enough with pawn e2. I'm just going to play very materialistically here and just make every pawn and piece counts, and if he wants to attack, it'll make my job in defense easier later on. Okay, he has gone for pawn at e2. I'll take with the king, because I want this knight to still look at the bishop. Knight at d4. Yeah, bring the king d1. I want this bishop to still have an open line. He can't take twice because of knight at e7 check, so If he takes here, he's only got bishop at e2, then I can play king d2. Might get bishop f3, but I'm not getting mated here. And I've got material. Knight at h6 may even mate him. Okay, knight takes f3. But I could take here, but knight at d4 looks like a bit of trouble. So here I'll actually put a bishop on, I think. I could put a pawn on. Pawn or bishop, that's the only question. We'll use a pawn. The knight at c4 check, then I'll take it, and then he has no knight to put on d4. And still here I'm threatening to play knight at e7. If he plays knight at c4 check, takes, and takes another knight, then I play d, knight at d4 check, king d3. Okay, here though, he's put the knight on. Let's just put, knight at f6 check wins the queen as well, doesn't it? Well, that can't be bad. Okay. I'll just take everything. So here, yeah. Develop the bishop. Yeah, I'm not mating him, but we'll put it here. Pawn at g2 looks like his only way in. We'll take this way. Gotta make sure I don't lose on time. Grind, grind, grind. Okay. He has to run out of pieces eventually. Okay, there we go. Okay, streak of 4 wins there, coming back. Okay, early d4. Now, there's a few ways to play this one. I'll go the conservative way. And there my decision probably is more about who I'm playing more than anything else. Against other players I might try to play more aggressively. Xuanet wants to attack, so I'm kind of gonna instinctively make it a little bit harder for him to just attack. Okay, bishop b4 worth anything. Okay, let's go. Okay. Speaking of attack, here it comes. So the idea is he wants to take this knight Let's just avoid that intake here. I go rook g8, but then he'll have two things hanging. I'd get to develop my rook if he did that. So now I get this open, and maybe d5 is a natural hit next with all the pressure on e4. Okay, pawn at g5. I can defend this, but part of me still wants to play d5. But can he just take it? I'm probably overthinking this. Knight g4 is also a move. Alright, d5. I have some pathway here with the queen. Now here I could either go here or here. I think f6 makes more sense. He could take e6, but that's alright. Go to f8. If takes here, I take this one. That undermines that. It's really only this check. I should probably take... Oh, maybe I should take with a pawn. Pawn at e7 check. Takes, takes, takes. Gotta find a square for this knight. But that's just dangerous for him, even if I play bishop. Knight at f3 is there. Okay. So... the pawn or the bishop? I think the bishop. I gotta develop. I'm not gonna be too worried about too many trades. If he gets another bishop in hand, it's still a diagonal piece. I'm more concerned about if pawn at g7, king g8, him getting a knight or a rook. So I'd rather bait him into taking that to open up the f3 square. But yeah, he's in a sense kind of taken the bait. I mean, the idea of playing d5 is to play for a position like this as black. What I would be more concerned about is if he took a slower approach against d5, where if he didn't try to play g takes f6 and just took on d5 and tried to build up a bit slower. But here this is fire versus fire, and that's more or less what I was playing for. Okay, bishop f4. So he's looking to undermine this. Bishop g4. Move I like. Okay, he would want the knight for f5 to fork this, but if he takes the knight, my queen gets to move out of the way of the fork. So I'm just trying to pick up some material here. I wouldn't want to move that knight. Okay. Now, queen's on. I'll check here first. I want to defend my own queen before capturing his. Now my rook defends the king. So my defense plays. Now knight at f3 or knight at d3. So bishop e5 is on. Then pawn at d2. Okay, no, he didn't go for it. So take this one. So really critical this game, all those defenses from aggressive positions. Here at pawn at g7 I've got knight takes f2. Kind of got knight takes f2 anyway. And knight at d3. So the knight's not going to mate me. Got to be aggressive. I'm threatening knight a3 mate here. It's just really blocking off the queen's defense. Yeah, so happy with how I took that game. Okay. e4, d5. Okay. Go this way. Alright. Let's see how he responds to queen h5. I don't think much of this move. I just think it's interesting. It's probably about equal. The idea behind it is just to put the queen on a square where if the knight took, you could just recapture with dc and get nice development. And it's just hitting d5 as well, but there's not much more thought around it than that. I have seen it a sack here where bishop c6 takes knight at e5 check, but I don't feel it's enough. Hey, just pardon me a sec, guys. I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. Sorry about that. I just thought I heard something. Right, so knight d4 is now on. I'm just going to go straight for pawn h6. I'm going to allow this one. Figure it lets me get another knight in hand. And that queen then comes to d4, which allows rook d1 later, and then I get a few tempo to knock black around with. So maybe a pawn at g4 is coming here, but then I will take this. And then knight e5. But I want him to play pawn at g4 first before I do that. Just gives me something else to target here. Alright, he's played it. I'm going to take it. If he takes this one, I'll take here. And now if queen takes, could take here as well. At forks. But more importantly, I get some tempo hitting g4. What I'd love to do is play pawn at g7, rook at h8. So one of the common ideas is you put a pawn here and then you spend some time after rook e8, chasing one of these pieces. Okay. Take this, or I could take this, or I could take this. I think I'm going to weaken the dark squares first, and then weaken them further. So this is a serious threat on the queen, because pawn at h6 is going to be pretty close to mate if I have a queen in hand. But if he moves the queen, then I get a bunch of tempo, and then I can play bishop at e5 or pawn at g5, start hitting things here. Say queen e8, knight e7, queen takes e7, pawn at g5, or bishop at e5. Okay, so he's not even going to defend the queen. Well, I'm gonna let him stew a little bit. Could take that queen, but I'm just gonna hold off. Now, do I get to lose my queen first here? Is that how this works? I'm gonna play true to my style and sack the queen. So this knight also covers d4, but I just feel like getting rid of those two bishops is gonna pay me benefits later, because it's gonna be so much easier to crack that king open. And I've already got things set up on the dark squares. If he chooses queen d7, if I play knight e7, he gets this. Knight at d3, queen takes, b takes, knight e4 check, king e1, queen at d2, king f1. The knight's covering f2, so I'm not mated. Yeah, we'll see what he wants to do. At worst, I don't have to take e7. I could play something like bishop at b5. Alright, he didn't save the queen. Not too big a surprise. Yeah, I'm just gonna let him stew. The bishop at e3, defending d4, attacking h6. If he wants to save the queen, then I'll go after his king. Okay, so I could still let him stew some more. Yeah, why not? Like if he plays bishop f8, I get the queen for free and hit f7. He plays queen f8, then knight takes e7. But it's very hard to play with black. And while it looks intuitively crazy for me to attack his queen first and then end up sacrificing my own. Yeah, they're the best practical moves I was seeing in that game. Okay, ZH asked the question, hi Jan, how do you like Fishy's idea of having the CWC final live in Sydney? I think I played bishop g. What did I play last time? Bishop g4. Sorry, I'm just thinking about the position as well here. Bishop g4. Yeah, he kind of ran the idea past me, and I actually thought it was a bit crazy to begin with, but I think it'd be really cool. Yeah, the only thing for me is if time permits. But yeah, I think that'd be cool. It'd probably still be on computers, and you'd have two people just logged in from Lichess, but I don't know. I think maybe there's some element of. Did they do that for like the? What was it? The the Pro Chess League on chess.com. Maybe that's where the idea came from. I'm not sure. But yeah, that's how it's done for gaming. If any of you have seen League of Legends, like I've just tuned in briefly just to see what it was all about, and I was surprised to find 300,000 viewers watching only one of the channels broadcasting the World Championship Finals for that. Where there's like $1 million prize money or something. I don't know if it's $1 million, but I think it's big money. And yeah, it's 5 versus 5, but they're all doing it on LAN. It's not done on the internet. Okay, so here, yeah, I took this one because I didn't want this pawn to fall. I think this pawn's very important for defense, and I felt he was going to sack it and then get a whole lot of initiative if I took this way first. I think thought he was gonna sack here, but now I'm like, what do I want to get out of this? Because I can go back to d6, but I just feel like I'm getting passive. I'm seeing if there's an aggressive way to hold some tension. Or else I just back off with knight d6 or knight b6. No, we'll go this way. Knight takes b2. I'll get this bishop off the diagonal, so it's not attacking h6, and I'll get my piece back here, and that's white's best defender. So even trade out of all that. He gets the bishop here. I'm burning a lot of time in the opening, but I think it's worthwhile. So if knight f6, pawn to g5. All feels too passive. Maybe I don't have a choice. Okay. Alright, long time. I haven't managed time well here. I'm just gonna have to play a few quick moves. Gotta cover c5. I'm gonna play the bishop because I want to put a pawn on g6. Gotta try. The bishop's coming useful here. It's held e7. That wasn't necessarily by design. Maybe even playing g6 rather than pawn at g6. That f6 is going to be a hole later on though. Alright, I'm going to do it. I just, if bishop h3, I need a pawn in hand to put on g4. That's the thing. Okay. I need to protect this knight with everything I have, because that's the weakness in my position. He gets in on f6. That is big trouble. Okay. Let's hit this guy. I'm dropping material here. I'm looking at a sack and knight at e2. Alright, I need to bring the queen back to hit this one, or maybe bishop g5. Still, it's all about holding this knight here. What's the play? Only queen f1. Queen g4, I felt he had queen at g3, and then I wasn't making ground. We're going to do it. Oh damn, he's got me. I left the door open at the back. Nice win. Yeah, I got stuck on bishop at g2. Maybe I had to even play e takes f4 there. Nice win from xuanet. Good fight. But I think I didn't set myself up well in the opening. I burnt too much time. And even though you get increment, it's 2 seconds and you're going to be suffering. Okay, what's this? This is new to me. Alright. We'll play queen at e5, just recover the pawn. Could play knight f3, could play pawn at c7, but that runs into queen at a5. So we'll just recover the pawn. Yeah, so OKZH says, Helm's Knight decided to withdraw sadly. She was a possible contender for last 10. I assume that's to do with Crazyhouse World Championship. Why did Helm's Knight withdraw? Alright, queen at b4 check is stopping me from playing pawn at b7. Pawn at f5, knight d7. Yeah, that's... I'd better just make good on my threat and take this. Yeah, RX 1338 is saying, was it for exclusivity reasons? I don't know. I don't want to speculate. But I can say that at least when it came to channel content, it was probably more than a year ago when chess.com originally approached me. Yeah, and it was at least 50% of content I think they wanted to be on chess.com. So sad, a bit sad if it's that reason. Okay, what do I want to achieve in this position? Yeah, pawn at b7, queen at b4 doesn't work, but like that's what black wants to do. Get this bishop out to c5 or b4. So I'm gonna put a pawn here. So I was out of book when black played queen takes d4, but here I'm just kind of going. I'm pretty happy with how all my stuff is back here. Like I'm pretty safe. He's got nothing in my half. I'm now up a pawn, and black's kind of got a few holes here. So rather than try to play pawn at b7, pawn at c7, where he could even play pawn at b7, queen here, somehow castle, or pawn at b7, rook d8 was fine, because I can't play pawn at c7 because he's got queen at a5 check. Then he makes pawn at b7 look silly and my queen's getting hit. Whereas by putting this here, I'm just kind of stopping this, and if rook d8's nothing now. If anything, it helps support pawn at b7. So now queen at b4 is still something. Is pawn at b7 viable here? Takes. He could only block with a queen. If the rook goes to b8, I can even take here or play pawn at c7. Oh no, then he can take, and then he takes with the knight. At c8. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna go for it. No, he's got bishop takes d6, but then I'm just gonna take his rook. No, bishop takes, rook at c8. Oh, he could have played knight takes. But he's only got queens in hand, so he either blocks with a queen here or I get to pick up his rook. If he blocks with a queen, then I take it and then play queen at c8 and get the rook anyway. So he may as well play king e7. So I clean up the back rank. Alright. No, I'm going to play knight c3. I'm going to be resourceful. I'm going to keep my pieces. Pawn at d4 is no good. I can take this. Yeah, well, maybe it is good. I've been too relaxed. Yeah, I just wanted to preserve my activity here. I thought I had bishop at f8, but I don't. I have bishop at d8. Alright, I'll take it. Let's not burn all the time like I did last game. But I do have to be careful of my king. He has to be careful of his king too. He's contemplating if he can take this. Pawn at d6. Possibly something serious. So is queen at c7. Sharp. Alright, we'll go queen at c7. I was thinking pawn at d6 originally, but oh, he's going to run out that way. But does he get to run far? Nah, I get my queen out to g5. So if king f5, I want to seal his king off e4. I don't want his king to run this way. And that way queen g5 is a knockout blow. So he probably has to play rook at e4 check. Now, not so simple. Thought I had a knockout blow. Alright, we'll play rook at e3. I'll just make sure I'm safe. Yeah, that mates. Yeah, not as clear cut as I thought it would be, but once the king was out on f5, it shouldn't be easy. And yes, main analyst saying pawn d6 looks good, wanted queen d8, not c7. That was my original idea. So it was pawn at d6 check, king takes d6, queen at d8 check, probably knight f d7, and then rook at d3 check was just going to keep things good at the back. Okay. So this, all hell can break loose here. We'll take this, but I have a feeling he knows some lines. I want to throw him off. Hmm. Alright, let's go d3. Let's just make sure he has a pawn on c3 where his knight can't go to. Just slows white down a bit, because when white can get out to d5 fast, bad things can happen. Let's sack first. I don't think you can go wrong with bishop at h5. You hit the knight, you defend the king. And also, if you make white play knight g5 check, then the knight naturally blocks off the bishop from h6. Okay, so he's going to pick up my bishop here. Let's be aggressive. We get this guy out. Okay. G8 or E8. Into G8. I just run into the rook check otherwise. But let's be clear. Yeah, okay. Go to G8. If takes here, I can play queen takes. Takes. I have a piece covering every part of the back rank. But yeah, I did miss queen c4. Okay. So now I don't have this nice bishop takes f3 move anymore. I kind of knock this knight away and pawn at f7. Maybe I should play knight takes e4. Then he just takes, and then I lose the bishop on. He hasn't made it easy. Alright, let's play pawn at d6 first. I'll just cut off this diagonal so I have a square to put my king. And while my knight's still defending d5, his queen has to find a square. Yeah, he's got something out of the opening here. Something went wrong. Okay, well, I've got to take the queen. 7 or e5. Go to e5. Just give a bit more coverage on the f7 square. Maybe I'm threatening to take this on a good day. Takes knight at h3 here. Not really. Don't have all the goods yet. He's got to be careful though. If pawn at e6, I might be able to take this. Takes. Knight at here, knight f3, king across, pawn at g2 here. Speaking of, he's played it. We'll take it. He might just take with the knight. I can play pawn at e2. If rook e1, don't know, a pawn short from delivering mate. I might have to queen f6 first. Let's open up some threats. Also covers f7. So I have the queen for the two pieces here, but yeah, there's threats. Queen f2, knight d3 is a threat. Like if he plays knight at e3, for example, to cover f1. Queen takes f2, takes, knight d3 check. King here, queen at f2, here, pawn at g4, takes, h5. Maybe it's queen g2 instead. We'll see. Enough potential. Okay. Let's take this one. Let's take the knight. Take this one. Oh, he's got knight takes f4. That's a bad miss. That's a very bad miss. Let's see if I made it here. Oh, he's just gonna material grab. Okay. He's sitting on this way. Yeah, my f4 square's gone. That was horrible how I blew this. Let's take a moment back there. Instead of queen takes f4, could I have taken the knight? I don't think I can make use of the resource. But I don't have to do that. I can play knight f3 check as well. That's knight f3 check looks pretty convincing there. I just missed knight takes f4. I was looking at bishop takes f4. Knight takes f4 defends just nicely, and I'm giving away a queen for nothing. Is there a mic problem? What's the issue with the mic? Is it too soft? Oh, I sound like Terminator. Great. Hang on. Okay, is that any better? I'll be back. So, what I need to do is take pawn d4, but not sure to take with the knight from f3. Wow, look at the time. Well, it's past 1 CRT. Need to get to the chopper. Yeah, I don't know if that improves the sound or if it's just annoying, but I should probably go to sleep after this one. I'm going to call last two games, I think. Now, if you trade queens at the wrong time, it's going to end badly. I think I got to go with the knight here. Alright, better now? I just muted it. I think it was a software issue. I muted it and then I unmuted it. Okay, here I think I'm justified in grabbing this rook. That again. Could be the hard way. I mean, I have had this mic for quite a while. It's taken some knocks and bruises with moving things around or bellowing around. The annoying thing is I can't hear the robot voice. I need some feedback. Maybe I'll yeah, maybe I'll just go quiet for a while. Yeah, it could be low battery. I'll plug in. Drunken Wishy, thanks for following. Yeah, main analyst suggesting queen takes f2 coming. I haven't even been really looking at it. Certainly looks dangerous. Takes. Yeah, I think I'm okay against queen takes f2. I could be wrong. Maybe the knight at e4 is more dangerous. If this works, xuanet will find it. Okay, he's decided he's going to go this way. Right. Maybe I have to take this now. And is he mated with rook at h8? Take. He can run. So I'm in no hurry though. I just take this. Because he's got no mate on me. Okay, one more game. Yeah, we'll stick with e4, e5. How's the sound, guys? Does it just come in and out? Because it could just be a hardware thing. Well, the good news is if my mic really is busted, because the headset's been good. I don't know when I switched to this wireless one, but it's been ages. While they were on special, I got one or two spare. So if this one goes and it's out of warranty, I've got another one in backup. I'll play a 97 here. Just preparing g6 a bit more before I castle. And yeah, once you castle, there's some bishop takes h6 lines that can come in, but while the rook's still here, the bishop can't go there. This is it's not like theory, but I've done this before, and I have some sort of theoretical reasons for it. Okay, h3, waiting move. He can play c3 and d4, c3 and b4 at some stage. I'm thinking castles or c6. I have quite a lot on d5 already. I'll wait with the king in the center. d4's coming, but if takes, I can maybe pick off the pawn. Maybe he's going to go e5. Alright, at this point I think now I should castle. Viewers, how is the sound at the moment? Is it still awful? Yeah, okay, that's bad. h2. Could have played knight g4, but that would have allowed bishop g3. This is just tougher to defend against. Finding defenses. Alright, I think he's given away a bit too much material here. Alright, yeah, sorry about the sound again. I'm going to close off the stream there, guys. It's nearly 2 a.m. here. We get to work tomorrow. I'll fix up the sound for next time. Sorry about that. Alright, have a good weekend wherever you are.